There was a man in ancient Israel who could tear lions apart with his bare hands. A man who single-handedly took on entire armies. His name was Samson, and he had a secret that made him unstoppable. But even the strongest man who ever lived had one weakness he couldn't overcome. This is the story of Samson and Delilah, a tale of supernatural strength, fatal love, and ultimate redemption. From the day he was born, Samson wasn't like anyone else. He'd been dedicated to God before he even took his first breath. As part of this dedication, he took a special vow, and the most visible sign of that vow was his hair. It was never to be cut. And because of this vow, God gave Samson something extraordinary, strength beyond human limits. The stories about him sound almost impossible. He once killed a lion with his bare hands like it was nothing. When enemies surrounded him, he grabbed the jawbone of a donkey and defeated 1,000 men. When the Philistines tried to trap him in a city, he literally ripped the city gates off their hinges and carried them to the top of a hill. Samson was Israel's protector, their champion, their living weapon against oppression. But all that physical power? It couldn't protect what was really vulnerable, his heart. That's where Delilah comes in. Samson fell hard for her. We're talking head over heels, can't think straight kind of love. And the Philistines, the very enemies Samson had been crushing for years, they noticed. They went to Delilah with an offer she couldn't refuse. Each Philistine lord would pay her 1,100 pieces of silver if she could discover one thing, the secret behind Samson's strength. Think about that for a second. This wasn't just a lot of money. This was life-changing wealth. And all she had to do was ask the right question. So she did. The first time Delilah asked him, Samson played it off. "Tie me up with 7 fresh bowstrings," he told her, "and I'll be as weak as anyone else." So she did. She tied him up while Philistine soldiers hid in the next room, waiting for their moment. Then she shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are here." He snapped those bowstrings like thread. "Strike one." But Delilah didn't give up. She came back, all hurt and betrayed. "You lied to me, Samson. If you really loved me, you'd tell me the truth." So he gave her another answer, new ropes. "Tie me with ropes that have never been used." Same result. He broke free like it was nothing. "Strike 2. She tried again, 3rd time now. "You keep making a fool out of me," she said. "Just tell me the truth." This time Samson said, "Weave my hair into a loom." She did. He woke up, pulled it right out. Strike 3. You'd think Samson would have seen the pattern by now. You'd think he would have walked away. But love, or maybe just infatuation, has a way of clouding our judgment. Delilah didn't stop. Day after day she nagged him, she cried. She questioned his love for her. She made him feel guilty for not trusting her with his secret. And here's the thing, she wasn't threatening him. She wasn't violent. She was using something much more effective, emotional manipulation, constant pressure, the kind that wears you down slowly until you just want it to stop. Finally, Samson broke. "My hair has never been cut," he told her. "I've been set apart for God since birth. If my head is shaved, my strength will leave me, and I'll become as weak as any other man." This time, Delilah knew it was the truth. She could feel it. She called the Philistine lords back, got her payment ready, and waited for Samson to fall asleep. When he did, she had someone come in and shave his head. Then she woke him up. "Samson, the Philistines are here." He got up, expecting to fight them off like he always did, but this time was different. His strength was gone. The Philistines seized him immediately, and what they did next was brutal. They gouged out his eyes, blinded him completely. Then they bound him in bronze chains and threw him into prison, where they forced him to grind grain like an animal, humiliating the man who once terrified entire armies. Samson, the strongest man who ever lived, was now broken, blind, and powerless. At least that's what everyone thought. But there's something the Philistines forgot, something they didn't notice in their celebration. His hair was starting to grow back. Time passed. The Philistines threw a massive festival to celebrate their victory and honor their god Dagon. Thousands of people packed into their temple. The rulers were all there. The crowds were cheering, and they decided to bring out Samson for entertainment, to mock him, to parade their broken enemy in front of everyone. They stood him between the two central pillars that held up the entire temple. Samson, blind and chained, asked the servant guiding him to let him rest against the pillars. Then, quietly, he prayed. It wasn't a proud prayer. It wasn't full of confidence. It was the prayer of a broken man who'd lost everything but still had a shred of faith left. "God," he said, "please remember me. Strengthen me just one more time." Then Samson braced himself against those two pillars, one hand on each, and he pushed with everything he had. The pillars cracked. The temple shook, and in one final moment of devastating strength, the entire structure came crashing down. Samson died that day, but so did thousands of Philistines, including all their rulers. In his death, he struck a blow against Israel's oppressors that outlasted his life. Samson's story is a strange one, isn't it? He was given incredible gifts, but he didn't always use them wisely. He was meant to be set apart, but he kept getting tangled up in the very things that would destroy him. His greatest strength couldn't save him from his greatest weakness. But even in his failure, even after everything he'd lost, there was still redemption. One final moment where faith mattered more than power. Because in the end, it wasn't about how strong Samson was. It was about who gave him that strength in the first place. And when he remembered that, even at the very end, it changed everything. What do you think? Was Samson a hero, a cautionary tale, or both? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into ancient stories like this, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.